Hello, and welcome to another episode of Jaxon Talks. Everybody, with me, your host, Jaxon Stone, and as you can see or hear, I am doing another solo episode. So if these have gone lately, this will be about 20 to 25 minutes. Nice, short, tight episodes full of specific information that I've been thinking about, pondering, usually that I have put out in my newsletter that you can find on jaxonstone.net. But for those that don't subscribe to that, I will be discussing some of that information here on this podcast today. And with Jaxon Talks, everybody, these episodes are generally filmed 4 weeks in advance because I'm dropping a new episode every single Tuesday, which could be one with a guest. It could be Everybody's Hotline, or it could be these short and tight solo episodes that I kind of got that idea from Jay Shetty. He has really, his podcast is called On Purpose with Jay Shetty. It's one of my favorite podcasts. So check that out if you're into my kind of stuff and living a life that's on purpose and human development and mental health tools and tips and how to be more productive and efficient with your time. Really good pod. A lot of information he shares on there resonates with me, and I try to have some of similar vibes here in my pod. And so he does this long form conversations on his pod with really cool guests. The last couple were really good with Will Smith, Russ, and Oprah. Those are kind of the last three that I listened to, which were amazing. I highly suggest. And then he does really short, tight episodes, 20, 25 minutes, usually some tips, some tools, some habits, some things he's pondering. And so I really like that idea because I'm always exploring kind of new things, and I'm taking a few classes at the moment, and things that have resonated in those classes I kind of want to share with you guys, because for one, it helps me know that I can understand the information, and then I can present it to my clients, my team, people in my life, and then I can present it to you guys where there's kind of no feedback during this thing, but so that if I can present it while you're listening or exercising or doing any of those things, and I feel like I have digested the information well enough to relay it in also a digestible and interesting manner. So that's kind of what this solo episode's about. I'm being a little bit more I'm just trying to find different guests, ones that really can inspire me, and ones that are different than what other people are doing, to have more interesting conversations. So it's not just another podcast, but this is actually something that people can look forward to tuning into every Tuesday. And so I'm doing more solo episodes at the moment because I'm really trying to hone in on what I want to have for a guest. And I've reached out to a few people that I'm really excited to have come on the show. So we just got to kind of work out the time and dates for those. But I'm pumped. I'm trying to do more in-person ones because I know the ones over Zoom aren't as easy to watch and understand, but some of the best people in the world don't live near me. So if I could fly out to them, or I could fly them out to me, I'll definitely start doing that. But there's a lot of interesting people in the local area that I'm trying to get involved with, like entrepreneurs and business people and financial people and all these things, to kind of branch out and have a few different kinds of conversations that could be beneficial to the listeners. So thanks for being here. That's the start. This is episode number 55, which seems pretty amazing. Episode 50 was one of my favorite episodes ever. So if you haven't watched that one yet or listened to that one, go back. That's with my best friend, Jesse. When I was out in Scottsdale, really good conversation there with her. But we've been friends for 10 years now, since 2011. And she knows everything about me. She's seen kind of this whole 10-year transformation that I've gone through as a person. And so it was cool to reminisce with her about some stories from college and some shenanigans that we got into and all these kinds of things. That's a really good one. And also the episode with Sam Pack, another college buddy that I played ball with, who's out in California now and doing some awesome stuff. But now we're on episode 55, just kind of rolling through every single week. Every Tuesday we're dropping an episode. When I get to 100, that'll be awesome. I'm trying to get on that Rich Roll level. He's one of my favorite podcasters, as well as Jay Shetty. And so those kind of the guys that inspired me, and Brene Brown, those are the people that kind of inspire me to keep learning and growing and not shying away from kind of the tough conversations that I can have here or and express on this pod as a way to reach as many people as humanly possible. And so, go to jaxonstone.net, subscribe to my newsletter. That'll give you some nuggets of information that I'll probably discuss in this pod. And go on my Patreon, patreon.com//Jaxon Stone for even deeper conversation. I post audio messages there. There's a chance to do group hangouts, one-on-one sessions, live streams, all that stuff. Patreon's a really good place for that. But that's enough for kind of the self-promotional tools. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel. That really helps me out a lot. But also in other news, this is one of my favorite You Are Love shirts that I've ever dropped. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it's a tie-dye shirt. We got the You Are Love logo on the front and a really cool design on the back. And the You Are Loved care packages should also be available now, which includes a You Are Love mystery shirt, a You Are Love wristband, and a handwritten note from me to whoever you buy that care package for. So I'm really excited about that. Shout out to Milan for the beautiful idea. Milan, incredible. Thank you. You're the best. And so those are available. A lot of good stuff happening there. Also on You Are Loved, we're opening up another support group to anyone and everyone all over the world. We'll meet once every 4 weeks. Myself and a licensed therapist will be there to kind of facilitate that group. But mostly it'll be that licensed professional to be there to run the group. So it's open to 10 total people, and we have spots available for that. So if you're interested in joining a support group, go to youarelovedlife.com to contact us, or any of the social medias, and shoot us a DM, and we'll get you put in that support group. I think that's about it for kind of housekeeping stuff or updates. If anything pops up in my head, I'll let you know. But as you all know, I'm doing a lot of stuff, and so I'm really excited about the journey that I'm on, and so I always thank you, and I'm very grateful and appreciative that I get to do this, and it's because of the people that support it and watch it and listen, and thank you so much. So before I get into the meat and bones of today's episode, which will be about exercise, fitness, and kind of moving your body, and my history with that, and how it's changed my life, and how I think it's one of the key factors in overall changing your life and overall health, including mental and physical health. I want to touch on briefly about the Israel-Palestine conflict. A lot of these things are way out of my scope and my realm, but I feel like it's important for me to talk about because we can't shy away from the hard conversations. The hard conversations are really the key to unlocking all of us, to unlocking the love between us, and creating the dialogue that needs to happen to create channels and bridges of connection. And so I think, for one, right, there's a huge spike in anti-Semitic behavior and anti-Semitism all across the United States, all across the world. And that's just a rise in hatred and discrimination for Jews. I myself am a Jewish man. I grew up Jewish. My family is Jewish. I had a bar mitzvah. Being Jewish is part of my heritage. It's part of who I am as a person. And it's really tough to see so much hatred towards a religious group. And it's interesting because, people assume that every Jew all over the world, especially in the United States, falls in line and agrees with everything that Israel does as a country. And that's not true. Thinking that every Jew believes and stands behind every action of the Israeli government is inherently an anti-Semitic thought. And so just like people in America don't agree with every action of the government or every action that happens, doesn't mean we hate America and hate everything about it. We still live here. We still love this country. And just like Jews, myself included, don't have to agree with everything that the Israeli government does because they do some bad, horrible things. But I don't live there, and I don't have the exact context or information about what goes on behind the scenes and all that stuff. And I'm just saying, just because I'm a Jewish person doesn't mean I agree with everything that the Israeli government does, because I don't, and I don't support every decision they make, but I still am Jewish and believe in freedom for every single person that lives in Israel, every religion, every race, every person who decides that they want to live in Israel should be able to live in peace. It's such a holy, magical place that allows for such a beautiful connection between so many different groups of people that I feel every person should live there and be able to live there in freedom and in peace with their, And so I do believe the idea can exist, and it does currently exist, that I can want freedom and peace for all Palestinian people, as well as not hating every Jewish person in the world, and believing that every Jewish person in the world believes everything that the Israeli government is doing or what's happening in Israel is right. And so you have to make the distinction between the two, and I think that's very important. I believe that, it does exist, that we can believe that the Palestinians deserve freedom and peace, and I don't hate every Jewish person in the world, right? We have to that my thought process is that people can live there in Israel, all people, all kinds of people, races, religions, genders, freedom, peacefully and lovingly in such a beautiful state. That's what it should be meant for. And I hope that non-Jews stand up against anti-Semitism and hatred against Jews, when really we just don't understand the conflict. I don't understand it fully, and so if all you're doing is looking at a few infographics or graphics on Instagram and then you're making your whole assumption based off that, that's wrong. So you have to dig a little bit deeper and understand the roots of the problem. But the roots of the problem go back farther than I've been alive. And so it's something that the leaders have to come together and decide that they want peace, that they want love, that they want harmony, because that does exist. I know that sounds wild because bombs are being, put off and people are dying, but that's the way to freedom and peace for every single person that decides to live in the Middle East. And that's what it should be for. And so I urge you to stand up, if you're a non-Jew, to stand up against anti-Semitism and stand up for the Palestinian people, because both do and exist. You can stand up for both. And I also urge you to do your own research on it and formulate your own opinions. You can disagree completely with what I have to say. I may not have said it in a great way that you even understand what I said, and that's on me, because I need to do even more of my own research as well, because things are changing and evolving and growing every single day. But I remain a Jewish person in America, and that means something to me, and I urge you to figure out where you stand in this conflict, and what you can do to help people and stand behind people and show your support. So thanks for listening. That's what I have to say on that. Cool. So we're going to move on to a completely different subject. Like I said before I went into that important discussion, let's talk about fitness. Let's talk about exercise. Let's talk about how important it is for your overall existence as a person, as a human, as someone who goes through daily life. I'll give you a little bit of background about me and my exercise routine, or my exercise journey, and how it literally changed my life. For context, I found professional wrestling, or WWE, the summer before I went to high school. And that was important for me because I saw these people on TV who are in shape, large, athletic, all these things. And so I joined the wrestling team my freshman year of high school. Did it my freshman year. We got introduced to the weight room there. Sophomore year, I did not join the wrestling team because I wanted to commit to baseball and trying to make JV. And so I made JV my sophomore year. And then my junior year, things just kind of really took off for me and my body and my fitness journey. I joined the wrestling team again back in my junior year, but only specifically with the intention of working out with the team. So I did all the team workouts. In my junior and senior year, the head coach of the wrestling team at Plano West, Coach Smith, knew this. he knew that I just wanted to be a part of their workout routine because wrestlers get after it. They get after it, and I wanted to get after it too. So I was working out with the wrestling team, whether in the mornings or after school, and when I wasn't doing that, I was going to Gold's Gym and working out there as well. And so fitness slowly became the most important thing in my life, besides trying to be the best baseball player I could be. Those are the only two things I really focused on. I didn't have a lot of friends or social life in high school. I just wasn't confident enough in myself, and I didn't really know how to approach it. I wasn't sure who I was, and so I decided to spend my time at the gym, wrestling practice, or playing baseball. And it completely rewired my confidence as an athlete, seeing my body physically change, seeing myself hit the baseball farther and better. So fitness overall changed my life, and it became a form of therapy, a form of peace, a form of just where I could just collect myself no matter what happened in the day. And that was way before, I started thinking about the things that I think about now. That was just as a high schooler. And so I got introduced there, went 4 years of college as a Division I baseball player, was a strength and conditioning All-American, was a Division I All-American, and got a degree in health education and nutrition. So that's been my main focus for a while was fitness, body, nutrition, all these things. And then I did an internship after I graduated college with the volleyball and football team, putting their strength and conditioning programs together for the summer, which is really exciting because you don't have to worry about school. So the athletes are super dedicated to their workouts, their regimen. It's such a vibe when you get into the weight room and people are just trying to get after it. And I love that sense of, especially as a former athlete at that point, I was trying to play pro ball at the same time, so I was still at school. But just that sense of just wanting to get after it. I love that feeling of just people coming into the weight room knowing they're going to work for an hour and a half and just get after it is such a vibe. And as a coach, it makes you want to put better programs together and work harder for them and get more fired up and learn and develop new programs so that your athletes can increase faster, bigger, stronger, better, so they can perform on the field and they can reach their highest potential as athletes and as people. And so that's where kind of the love came in, right? Then I moved back home after all that stuff. And I didn't get to work with athletes. I just started working at a gym as a personal trainer for the next kind of 3 or 4 years until I moved to Philly, became a full-time pro wrestler, and then moved back home to Dallas 2 years ago. And you guys all have kind of been aware of that journey since then. And so since then, I've actually gotten 2 of the most important certifications. It's got for like physical fitness or sports performance by a guy named Dr. John Russin, which is a pain-free performance specialist, and Joe DeFranco, who does a lot of stuff with Triple H and the WWE Performance Center. He does a certification called Certified Physical Performance Specialist. So I've gotten those 2 certs, mostly in preparation of trying to train myself for professional wrestling, but also now working with athletes. Now I'm getting the chance to work with athletes along with my mental performance coaching. I'm doing sports performance coaching. And so it's just been a really beautiful mix of being able to put all these things together. And it's just really naturally kind of happened. And it just so happens that I have all this background, this education, and these certifications to allow me to approach these things on a different level than a lot of most weightlifting coaches. And so I'm inspired by that. So that's kind of my background on that. I just say that basically exercise, fitness, movement has basically changed my life, and I urge you to start too. And here's how to start. Exercise, movement, whatever, daily fitness literally is the most important thing that you can do for your overall health. And I talk about overall health as physical and mental health. There's so many benefits to just moving your body. Like 1 in 4 people, 1 in 4 adults live a sedentary life. That means they're sitting more than 8 to 10 hours a day. And so there is ways to do this that fits your body type, that fits your life, and it's possible to move your body, right? It's just It's so important. And so start with simply just walking for 10 minutes a day. Simply do that. You don't have to do anything else but simply walking around your house, around the mall, around the block, to the park for 10 minutes a day. And if you say that you don't have time for that, you are wrong. You're wrong, first of all. And secondly, you have to be able to find 10 minutes. So then that turns into a time management thing. How can we reorganize your schedule to fit that best in? And so you have to start. You have to. If you're not doing any sort of physical exercise, you have to start by walking 10 minutes a day. You have to. There's no option. You have to do it. You have to start literally this second. When you're done watching this, or pause it right now and go for a 10-minute walk. That's the start. And once you start getting into a groove of that, things are going to escalate from there. You're going to find that your body feels a little bit better, that you're sleeping a little bit better, that your stress and anxiety might be down a little bit better, or might be down, And so you'll just start to escalate from there. And then 10 minutes turns into 30 minutes. 30 minutes turns to an hour. You're like, all right, I can walk for an hour now. Now we're like, okay, maybe I should add yoga. Ooh, now we're stretching with yoga and doing a mind-body connection flow for 15 minutes a day and doing a 30-minute walk. Right? So not only are you connecting your mind, your body, which I'll get into in a second how important that is, but now we're just enhancing everything in our life. Now, yoga is something that incorporates meditation and gratitude and a movement practice that allows you to really become one with your body, because the body is so sacred. It's so sacred. It's such a magical place. No matter what size and shape you are, like, your body is fucking incredible, and it's doing so many things all the time without us even noticing they're happening, and it's so special. And so how do we honor that? How do we honor our body? For one, keeping us alive, getting, moving around. How do we honor that? We honor that by movement practices that say thank you to our body. And one of those things is walking. Another one of those things is yoga. And a mindfulness movement meditation practice is yoga. Your body is sacred, and you're honoring that by moving it and flowing with it and stretching it and guiding it and being intentional with your practice. So you're going to start with a 10-minute walk. You're going to start there right now, today. And you're going to move through that journey, 30 minutes, an hour. Okay, where to next? Because once you start seeing the results, and the results may be invisible. Maybe you're just feeling them. You can't see them. So I'm not telling you about a weight loss journey. I'm not telling you about how to get that's a you thing. If you want that, you got to work for that. I'm telling you that if you're a sedentary person, or you're feeling anxious, or you're struggling with your mental health, or you're feeling stressed out, any of these above mental health conditions not going to be cured or solved, but they can be a coping mechanism. One of the best coping mechanisms on planet Earth is being able to move your body. Some people don't have that luxury, and so they have to find other ways. But you do. If you do this. Start walking 10 minutes a day, right? Not only are you outside in nature with fresh air and breathing, and you're doing a walking meditation and just letting things come to you, free flowing with your body. You're getting movement here, and then you're adding a yoga practice or a dancing practice or Tai Chi or any of these things. Or you can add a weight training routine. If you are going to add a weight training routine, please be safe with that. Learn the dynamics of it first. Maybe hire a personal trainer to teach you how to do these movements properly before you just hop right in. Because again, we want to honor our body. Exercise, movement, fitness is about enhancing our life, not about hurting ourselves. So you want to take things gradual and take things slow, but you also have to start. Nothing is going to happen if you don't start. And it's not the perfect time. It's never going to be the perfect time or the right time or the best time. This is the only time right now. You have to start. Have to start. And so you'll start adding layers to that, because the only things we can train in life as human beings is our body, our craft, and our mind. And I talk about the mind a lot, and I'm going to keep talking about the mindset, mental training, mental wellness, how we can train all of these things: optimism, grit, resilience, hope, right? How we can train those things, because they're trainable skills. And you do sets and reps just like you do with the body. And if you're unfamiliar with physical fitness, the 10-minute walk once a day is the start to everything else that follows from that journey. Who knows? You start today with a 10-minute walk, 2 years down the road, you're doing an Ironman competition. I have no idea. Or you're cycling 6 miles a day, right? The opportunities and the possibilities are endless. We're only limited by what we believe. And if we believe that I can change my life, that I can become physically fit, that I can honor my body, then that is possible. But we have to put in the work day to day. Day to day. And that's it's about you. It's you versus you, nothing else. We don't have to compete against bikini models or bodybuilders or Instagram and none of that shit. None of that shit matters. What matters is you versus you in this journey of life. And adding this physical fitness, daily movement practice will only enhance every single area of your life. Only enhance it, right? And so I can't urge you enough. And so if you have deeper questions about this, or you need a workout routine, or you need a regimen, or you need tips, you need tools, you need references, you need how to show you this or that, I can show you all those, or I can lead you directly to the people who can help you do that. There's so many resources out there, but you have to be willing to put in that work, and you have to be willing to start. You do have time. You do have time. You have to honor your body. And so the mind-body connection is one of the things that we tend to ignore the most. A lot of things that happen upstairs in our brain and in our mind manifest physically in our body. I'm feeling anxious, so my legs start to shake. My lower back starts to hurt. I'm starting to get depressed a little bit. So I want to lay down. I feel tired. I feel sluggish all the time. These things manifest in our body because the mind and the body are connected so strong. They're one and the same. They're inseparable. They're not two different entities. They're one entity, mind, body, together. That's what makes a human. And our physical fitness and our mental fitness are the same, and they correlate and they go together. And so if you want to increase and get better at a physical fitness, it's directly going to relate to how much better you feel mentally. And if you're feeling like shit mentally, which I get it, I know, been there, right? Talk about it very regularly. Huge mental health guy, right? I love mental health. Let's prioritize our mental health. Let's take care of our mental health. Let's be about our mental health, right? So we have space and capacity to be of service to others, so we can understand others better because we understand ourselves better. But our mental health is directly related to our physical health. And if we work on one, we're working on the other. If we work on one, we're working on the other. Directly correlated, directly, right? Everything happening in your body is assigned to dig a little bit deeper. Everything happening in your mind and body is assigned to dig a little deeper. And the only way to know that is to be aware of that. We have to recognize that. So we have to be in tune with our thoughts and our body. We have to be introspective about what's happening in our body and in our mind and what it's telling us. And a lot of that starts with having a physical fitness or daily movement practice, so we're honoring our body. So we're doing a meditation or a mindfulness practice so we can see, so we can be non-judgmental of the thoughts that flow through, but we can just be aware of where our body is, and we can be present in that moment to figure out what we may need more of and what we may need less of. That's what being aware is. That's what's embodying the mind-body connection and using that sixth sense of interoception, of feeling it and being aware of it, and then giving yourself what you need, and then tweaking it as you go, as you progress, as you do this, as you do that, as it gets different. That's what it's about. It's about the mind-body connection. They're inseparable. Your health is health. Physical health is health. Mental health is health. And we got to be working on both. Got to be working on both. 3 things that you can do every single day that will literally change your life. 3 things that you can do every single day that will change your life. 1, make your bed every day when you wake up in the morning. That's an accomplishment. You accomplished that task every single day. No matter how your day goes, no matter what happens throughout the day, you come back to your bed that night, getting ready to sleep, and you see that your bed is made. That's an accomplishment. That's a sense of pride. That's something that you did. You accomplished it. No one can take that away from you, no matter what your day was like. You accomplished that. 2, go for at least a 10-minute walk every single day. 3, write down 3 things that you are grateful for, that you really, truly appreciate. And you have to feel those things. That's a visceral gut feeling of 3 things that you are absolutely grateful for. Being a researcher of good every single day in your life. Those 3 things, right? Make your bed every morning. Go for at least a 10-minute walk and write down 3 things that you're grateful for and appreciative for real in your life. If you do those three things every day, you're going to set yourself up for at least more better days, for at least more fulfillment, more happiness, more purpose, more passion. Of course, you can dive way deeper into those things, way deeper. And I can help you with that if you need, or you can listen to previous episodes, or you can DM me about that stuff. But from the start, if you don't know where you're at and you don't know where to go and you don't know where to start with those 3 things right now, today, and come back to me in 30 days and tell me how it changed your life, or tell me how your life got 1% or 2% or 4% better, which is a huge increase from where it was, right? And that's all we're after. Our best every day looks different each day. It does. Some days we wake up and we're sad for no reason. Some days we wake up and we're happy for no reason. That's okay. That's human. That's human emotion. That's human evolution. That's peaks and valleys. That's beautiful. That's part of life. Right? Because we are not perfect and we never will be. So we'll stop expecting that, because our best looks different every single day. So, but those 3 things are something you can do every single day, no matter what you feel or look, or no matter what's happening. You can do those 3 things, and knowing that you did those things is a huge sense of accomplishment and pride, and you can be proud of yourself because you did those things. No one else did them. You did them, and that's important, and that's powerful, and that's meaning. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to change, and I want to help you get there, because I'm still on my journey. I don't have shit figured out, but I know a few things that have helped me on my journey, and I want to help you get there too. And it starts with those 3 things, and it starts with you deciding right now, today, that this is what I want, and commit to it. It's never going to be the right time, because the right time is right now. Commit to you, commit to your journey, commit to your best self, because I believe in you. Much love. Okay, that's it. That's all I got for this week. Thanks for listening. I felt pretty passionate. Got kind of in flow there when I started speaking. But thank you for listening, as always. I love and appreciate this community we've built. This has been another solo episode 55 in the books. On our way to 60, on our way to 100, on our way to 1,000 episodes. We'll see where this community can grow from there. But subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share this with a friend who may need it. And we'll see you guys next week. Much love. Cheers.